Hello dear students, myself Miss Vaishali Dekate. Welcome to my channel. I am teaching you subject Maths 2 in standard 9th. In this video, we will continue with our chapter number 1. Name of the chapter is Basic Concepts in Geometry. We will learn how to form conditional statement and their converses. We will learn questions from practice set 1.3. But before that, subscribe my channel by pressing subscribe at right side. Press the bell icon also to get my recent videos. So students, let us first learn about conditional statements and converse. So what do we mean by conditional statements? The statements which can be written in the if-then form are called conditional statement. So if these two words are there, if and then this statement is known as conditional statement. The part of the statement following if is called antecedent. Okay, the part of statement which is written after if, after this word if, it is known as antecedent, and the part of the statement which follows then is called consequent. So statement which is written after the word then is known as consequent. In simple language, we can say that antecedent can be considered as a question of that sentence, and consequent means result or answer of the sentence. Okay, consequent means answer and antecedent means question or problem. So in this way, we have to form the given simple statement by using if and then into conditional statement. So let us see, one example is given here. For example, consider the statement, the diagonals of rhombus are perpendicular bisector of each other. Okay, diagonals of rhombus are perpendicular bisector of each other. What are perpendicular bisector of each other? The diagonals are perpendicular bisector of each other. Diagonals of what? Diagonals are perpendicular, but of what? Of a rhombus. So in this way, we have to make two separate parts of given sentence, and then we have to convert it into the conditional statement. Let us see how it is converted into conditional statement. The statement can be written in the conditional form as, if the given quadrilateral is rhombus. So this one part is written after if, after the word if. So after if, what is written? The given quadrilateral is rhombus. Few words we have to add on our own. So the given quadrilateral is added. If the given quadrilateral is a rhombus, then, and after then, what is written? The remaining sentence. The diagonals are perpendicular bisector of each other. So as we all can see, after if, the sentence written is antecedent. As I have told you, antecedent means problem or antecedent means question. So if the given quadrilateral is rhombus, this is question, then what will be its answer? Then its diagonals are perpendicular bisector of each other is the answer, which is known as consequent of the sentence. In this way, we have to write the conditional statement. Now let us see how to write the converse of statement. If the antecedent and consequent in a given conditional statement are interchange. What do we mean by interchange? It means that if in place of antecedent, consequent is written, and if in place of consequent, antecedent is written, then it results in the statement which is known as converse of the given statement. So if a conditional statement is true, its converse is not necessarily true. So let us study the following example. Example is the conditional statement given to us, a quadrilateral. If a quadrilateral is a rhombus, then diagonals are perpendicular bisector of each other. Now, if a quadrilateral is rhombus, till this it is antecedent. Okay, this is antecedent, and after then the statement written is known as consequent. Okay, I will write it as A and C. Now, how to write its converse? In converse, we have to write consequent as antecedent and antecedent as consequent. That means answer as question and question as answer. So let us see how it is written. The converse is written as, if the diagonals of quadrilateral are perpendicular bisector of each other. So it has become our antecedent now. Then what will be its answer? What type of quadrilateral it will be? Then it is a rhombus. So it is our answer. So in place of antecedent, consequent is written. In place of consequent, antecedent is written. In this way we have to write the converse. See children, it is more of part of English grammar than maths. If your English grammar is good, you will be able to write the conditional statements and their converses very easily. So in the above example, the statements and its converses are true. Both are true. Now consider the following example. Conditional statement is, if a number is a prime, then it is even or odd. Okay, the prime number can be even or odd. We all know 2 is prime number, which is even also, and remaining all the prime numbers are odd numbers. So this is true statement. Now let us see its converse. Converse is, if a number is even or odd, then it is a prime number. So conditional statement is true, but converse is not true, because all even numbers are not prime numbers. Only 2 is such a number which is even as well as prime. But if you take 4, 6, 8, 10, 288, 300, 354, like this, even numbers, they are not prime numbers because they are composite numbers. So the conditional statement is true, but its converse is not true. So all these things we have to remember. We will see in detail how to write if then form statements, that is conditional statements, and their converses. So now let's start practice set 1.3. Practice set 1.3, question number 1. Write the following statements in if then form. If then form means conditional form. We all know that. These sentences are simple sentences or simple statements. We have to convert them in conditional statements. So we all know in conditional statements there are two parts. Antecedent and consequent. So antecedent statement start from if. This is the part of statement which start from if. We can say it as a question. Okay, and then consequent start from then, and we can say it as answer of this question. This part is the answer of question which is asked. For example, simple example I will give you. If Raju exercises or Raju does his exercise or exercises daily, then what will happen? What is the answer of this question? This is the question. Raju exercises daily. Then what will be the answer? Or Raju exercises every day. What will be its answer? Then he will become fit and healthy. So after if, the question or the sentence written is the question. This is known as antecedent. And after then, the statement written is answer of this question. So in this way, we have to form question and its answer. That means if then form of the sentence. So let us see the first sentence. The opposite angles of parallelogram are congruent. So we have to write its conditional statement. Let us see which two parts we can make of this sentence. So that first part will be the question part, that means antecedent, and second part will be its result or will be its answer, that means its consequent. So the opposite angles are congruent. This will be one part. Opposite angles are congruent, but of what? of what type of shape? They are of parallelogram. So this will be the one part, opposite angles are congruent, and the one part will be of parallelogram. What is parallelogram? Parallelogram is a quadrilateral. So if the quadrilateral is parallelogram, then what is its answer? Then its opposite angles are congruent. Okay. So in this way, we have to form two parts of our question or of our statement so that we get antecedent and consequent. So it will become our antecedent. That means question part. If a quadrilateral is parallelogram, then what is its answer? The answer, that means consequent. Consequent will become, then its opposite angles are congruent. So let us write conditional statement. If a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then what will happen? Then what is its result? Then its opposite angles are congruent. So in this way, we can write conditional statement in two parts, antecedent and consequent. Now let us see this second statement. The diagonals of rectangle are congruent. What is congruent? Diagonals. The diagonals are congruent. So this will be our one part, and second part will be of a rectangle. Diagonals are congruent, but of what? Of rectangle. And what is rectangle? Rectangle is nothing but a quadrilateral. So if the quadrilateral is a rectangle, then what is its result or what is its consequent? Consequent will be the diagonals are congruent. So again we will be writing the conditional statement like, if a quadrilateral is a rectangle, then what can happen? Then what will be there? Then the diagonals are congruent. Then its diagonals are congruent. In this way, we will have to recognize two parts of our statement. Now let us see the third statement. Third statement is, in an isosceles triangle, the segment joining the vertex and the midpoint of the base is perpendicular to the base. So one part will be, in an isosceles triangle, the segment joining the vertex and the midpoint of the base. What type of segment is this? Segment which is joining the vertex and midpoint. Okay, and if we join the segment with vertex and midpoint of the base of isosceles triangle, here it is, if I draw a isosceles triangle and I draw a segment which joins vertex and midpoint of the base. Okay, this is the question. There is an isosceles triangle and the segment is drawn which joins the vertex and midpoint of the base. Then what is its result? Its result is that segment is perpendicular to the base. So that will be the consequent. Okay, the segment will be perpendicular to the base, will be consequent, and this part of the sentence will become our antecedent. So in antecedent, what we can write? If in an isosceles triangle, a segment is drawn from vertex to the midpoint of the base. Okay. If in an isosceles triangle a segment is drawn from the vertex to the midpoint of the base, then what will happen? Then what we will get? Then that segment is perpendicular to the base. In this way, we can complete the conditional statements. Now question number 2 is write converses of following statement. We all know converse means what? We have to interchange antecedent and consequent. In place of consequent, we have to write antecedent. In place of antecedent, we have to write consequent. It is very easy actually. So in the first sentence, the alternate angles formed by two parallel lines and their transversal are congruent. Okay, so what will be our antecedent in this given sentence? In this given sentence, the antecedent is the alternate angles formed by two parallel lines and their transversal, and consequent is alternate angles are congruent. So this congruent word should be written first. Okay, that means it should be written as antecedent now and its consequent will be written afterwards. Then those two lines will be parallel. Okay, so this will be the consequent now in the converse and this will be the antecedent. But in antecedent, do we write only if congruent? What should be written as the congruent? If alternate angles formed by two lines and their transversal are congruent, then what will happen? What type of those two lines will be? Those two lines will be parallel lines, correct? If two lines and their transversal is there and their alternate angles are congruent, then what type of these two lines will be there? These two lines will be the parallel lines. Okay, so now in the given sentence, this is antecedent and this is result, that means this is consequent. But when we want to write its converse, the consequent will become antecedent and antecedent will become consequent. So let us write this sentence. So in this sentence, R congruent is consequent. In its converse, we have to write it as antecedent. So after if, we don't write only if are congruent. What are congruent? The alternate angles are congruent. Alternate angles made by what? Alternate angles are made by two lines and their transversal. So how to write this? If the alternate angles made by two lines and their transversal are congruent, then what will happen? So we have written the consequent as antecedent now. The result is written as question now. Okay, the answer is written as question now. So if the alternate angles made by two lines and their transversal are congruent, then what will be its answer? Then those two lines will be parallel to each other, correct? So we should write then the lines are parallel lines, correct? Or lines are parallel to each other. Now see the second statement. If a pair of interior angles made by a transversal of two lines are supplementary. So in this particular question, if a pair of interior angles made by transversal of two lines are supplementary is antecedent. And this is become consequent. The lines are parallel is consequent. But this consequent we have to take as antecedent in its converse, and antecedent will be consequent in the answer, in the converse. So this consequent means answer. Answer will become question now, and question will become answer now. Okay. So this is question. So question will become answer and answer will become question. So let us write if. What should be written after if? This answer should be written as question. So if the lines are parallel, okay, and they are intersected by what? Transversal. How the interior angles are made? Interior angles are made when two parallel lines are intersected by transversal. So we will have to add few sentences or few words on our own. So how to write? If two parallel lines are intersected by a transversal, then the interior angles so formed are supplementary. So you all can see now the answer will become question and question will become answer. Okay, this was the question. The angles are supplementary and lines parallel was the question, was the answer. But now this answer, the two lines are parallel and then they are intersected by transversal will become our question, and the angles are supplementary will becomes the answer. In this way you have to interchange this. Now, okay, if two parallel lines are intersected by a transversal, then the interior angles so formed are supplementary. Now let us see this last sentence. The diagonals of rectangle are congruent. What is congruent? Diagonals. So diagonals congruent. Diagonals are congruent is question here. Correct? And the rectangle is the answer here. Now we have to interchange it. So how to interchange? If the diagonals of a quadrilateral are congruent, then what type of quadrilateral it is? Then the quadrilateral will be a rectangle. Then that quadrilateral is a rectangle. In this way you can interchange